Hey guys, it's Ezra. Today I want to talk about my experience as a human extinction activist. Basically, that means someone who wants to bring about the extinction of humanity. Really it extends to all sentient life because without life there can be no suffering. And while technically we can end suffering, there are a bunch of really bad systems in the world, like the caste system or racism, and you can't really end those without cooperation from a lot of people, which I believe is not possible because people are assholes. So I think the best possible ending for humanity is just that everybody dies, or that every living being, just dies or reaches the point of death of old age and does not reproduce so that life can be over. Basically everyone can be done with life. It sounds, everyone says it's unrealistic, but if they would just stop making babies and live out the rest of their natural life, there would be no more life, and then everything would be good. Then the world would be quiet, no suffering, and then plants and trees can take over the world again without anyone being bothered. So yeah, I am a moderator for a Reddit community based around universal extinction and basically the death of all life. There are different ethicist communities and extinctionist communities that you can participate in if you would like to end life. What else? There's been some protests by antinatalists, which is similar. But I'm sure that you can set up a protest where you can rally around abolishing life, or you can rally around the extinction of life if that's what you want. What else? I guess you can also just, you can do this lone wolf style. You don't have to join a group or anything. You can just talk about extinction, to your friends or whoever else. Talk about it online. Talk about other progressive causes like euthanasia. In the Netherlands and in Canada, they are so progressive with euthanasia that actually around 5% of the all deaths in Canada are due to euthanasia. And as someone living in the US, we don't really have that much freedom to do anything. That's just makes me so jealous, but whatever, it's beside the point. There actually exists technology today called sarcopods that you can actually go into this pod and press some buttons like a Futurama suicide booth, and you can actually die. They actually make it so easy, and it's not painful or anything. And basically this is what society is withholding from us. This is what they take from us. Well, even besides that, there are methods. They do have lethal injections, but they only use them for prisoners. They won't give people euthanasia for depression or other serious illnesses in the US, especially this healthcare system, the pro-life industrial complex. Big life will not allow people to die, and anyone who is anti-life, who is an ethicist or a pro-extinction activist for humans or any species, they tend to get suppressed. Our opinions and our voices just become suppressed because society wants everyone to live. They want to force everyone to live a horrible life, even if they're in some shitty red state. They don't want to let them leave or escape life. So yeah, I guess there's other kinds of activism you can do that's not extinctionism activism, but I mean, it's like, do you really want to? Because let's say that you are like, let's say you want workers' rights in the US. Well, nobody's going to cooperate because nobody cares because there's like a bunch of like class divide. So, it's like I am just cynical that any kind of movement that requires cooperation between large amounts of people is not going to work. And I think extinction in that way is like a lot more foolproof, like nobody can mess it up unless they have children or something stupid like that. But like, I mean, encouraging people to get sterilized is another way to go at it. Encouraging people to maybe adopt instead of like giving birth to children, because then when you give birth, then you bring more people into the world and like you're not helping the cause of extinctionism. You're supporting big life, you're supporting life.